Good morning, everybody. Hope we all had a good Thanksgiving. It is the Friday after Thanksgiving. The NBA is back, so how about we lock in some awesome NBA player props? Of course, hopping on to OddsJam to find value, to find these sharp, mathematically profitable player props. And the first one that I'm going to lock in here, and I can kind of talk about the OddsJam system and everything. This Klay Thompson over 3.5 made threes. So the play is at plus 135 at Bet Rivers. Can also get it at Barstool, Unibet, and TwinSpires. The no vig odds that OddsJam calculates prices this to be at about plus 128, plus 128.13. We can just round down to plus 128. But the reason why I like this one, outside of just the math and the no vig odds, look at the Bet Rivers price compared to everything else. Pinnacle, the sharpest sportsbook in the world, has it at plus 115. Another very sharp sportsbook, BetOnline, has it at plus 112. I also like to look at DraftKings, specifically with player props, and they have it at plus 115. So if those three are in alignment in terms of what a market is priced at, and the bet that we are placing is an outlier to those three markets, specifically with player props, that's a good sign. I also like it. Look at where every other book is pricing this. FanDuel plus 110, DraftKings plus 112, Bet365 plus 115, FoxBet plus 110. All of these sports books have it hovered around the plus 110, plus 115 range, except for Bet Rivers, which has it all the way up at plus 135. That's a huge outlier compared to the rest of the betting markets. So positive expected value betting, there's a couple things that we need to look out for. Number one, and just this is more just kind of to understand the process. These no vig odds that you see here are pulled from the sharpest sports books in the world in terms of pricing odds, like the most accurate sports books at pricing odds. OddsJam back tested this data to determine what sports books are the best. So it comes from actual data, not just like, oh, well, anecdotally, I heard this was the sharpest, so that's what we're going to use. No, they actually went and back tested and collected millions of data points to come to that determination. So the Klay Thompson over 3.5 made threes. All in all, quotes to a profit margin of about 3%, just above 3%. So for every $100 bet on this play, you'd make about $3 of profit margin. Doesn't sound like a lot, but just one bet that will be realized tonight. So for those of you who are, who are placing multiple bets a day, like 10, 20, 25, this $3, $1.50, or if you only put $50 on it, turns into a lot more. So in terms of unit sizing, I would recommend putting about half a unit on this one. That's what my recommended bet size is telling me, $60. And the last point that I want to make, because I know people are probably going to ask about it, is why would you bet on a play at plus 135 that is more likely to lose, right? Based on the plus money odds, that means that the bet is more likely to lose, which is true. That's a good point. But the goal of sports betting isn't to maximize the number of bets that you win, right? It's not to maximize your win percentage. It's to make money. If you wanted to just win the majority of your bets, then you should just go to NFL and you should just bet money line at, minus 770, minus 240, minus 180, minus 1,000. Because then you'd be winning the majority of your bets. Yeah, you probably wouldn't make money, but if your goal is to win the majority of your bets, then that's what you should do. But if your goal is to make money, then you should bet on positive expected value plays that are either plus money or minus money. What really matters is the difference between the no vig odds and the book that we are placing it at. Like plus 135 odds, let's say we place 1,000 bets at plus 135 odds. If we won roughly 52.5% of the time, so if we won 425 of those bets, we would break even. The cool thing about sports betting is that all odds have a win percentage associated with them. So basically, whenever sports books are pricing odds, all they're doing is saying, hey, we think this bet is X% chance going to hit, so they convert that to odds. So we can kind of do the same thing and see what our break-even number would be. So at plus 135, our break-even number is 42.55. So if we win, again, 42.5% of our bets at plus 135, we'll break even. Any number we win above that amount, we will be making money. So let's look at the no vig odds, the win percentage of the no vig odds of plus 128, 43.83, above that 42.55 number. So yeah, this bet based on the Novig odds, the sharpest sports books in the world, is going to lose roughly 47 or 57% of the time. But if it only wins that 43% of the time, we'll still be making money, right? So the goal is a volume game. You place enough of these plus money bets, and eventually your win percentage will be enough for you to make money. And that's the whole goal, to make money. So I get a lot of questions about why place bets that are plus money. That's exactly why, because your goal is just to win more than the break-even number of the odds that you're placing. And that's exactly what positive EV betting does. So this is my first one. Put half a unit on it. Let me give this page a refresh because the odds always change. And the next one that we're going to lock in here is this Keldon Johnson under 5.5 rebounds. So this is at -104. Again, the same sports books. And the reason why I like this one, so of course the math, right? The Novig odds prices at about +109, -109, -108.61. And look at Bet Rivers compared to the other sports books. So BetOnline and Fox Bet heavily favor this under. They have the under in the -130s, -130 versus -138. FanDuel has it at 50-50, pricing it at -113, but Bet Rivers has it all the way down at -104. So one of the sharpest sports books, BetOnline, heavily favors it going under. And we're getting that under at only -104 odds. Now, another thing that I like to do, this is works more with stats higher than the rebounds at 5.5. But if you open up the event page in a new tab, it pulls up where every sportsbook prices it. So you can sometimes find examples. This would be a good DFS play, this Anthony Davis over 11. But sometimes you can find examples where sportsbooks have different numbers for the stats themselves. Not the case here, but maybe for some future ones. So this Keldon Johnson under 5.5 rebounds, I'd recommend putting another, maybe a little over half a unit on this one, maybe 3/4 of a unit. Win percentage of this one of about 52%, and the -104 is just above 50% that will need to win to break even. So this is my second play, Keldon Johnson. This Jalen Green one is another one that I like, and this will be my last player prop for today, the third and final one. -103 at Bet Rivers, same thing. Look at all the other sports books and where they price it. -124 favoring the over, -133 favoring the over, -122 favoring the over, and then DraftKings -125 favoring the over. So that's kind of the stuff that we're looking for when we're positive expected value betting. All in all, Novig odds of about -107, profit margin of 1.8%. Another play that I would put about half a unit on. Not going to break the banker by any means on this one. But this will be my third and final NBA player prop for today. Jalen Green over 23.5 points. So if you're tailing any of these, comment and let me know. I would appreciate the feedback. But that's all I got. So thanks for watching and have a good one.